Star Wars Force Arena players, welcome to this brand new video. So in this video we are going to do a walkthrough of the new game starting tutorial and show you guys who haven't played the game before what Force Arena is about. So currently when you start the new game, if you haven't played before, bearing in mind this is if you haven't played the game at all or if you want to start from scratch. You start with the light side and the dark side, the Republic and also the Separatists. So gone are the Empire and the Rebels, although they're still there technically, the cards are still there to unlock, etc. But it's now become the light side and the dark side as the era they've chosen. And we'll talk more about that later on. So each character, you can pick one of these characters to be your starting leader. And for those of you who haven't played Force Arena before, we'll go into more detail as we go through the videos, and we'll talk about each step and how the game works and everything else. But there is a tutorial here that helps guide you through and understand the basics of the game. So if you've played a game like Clash Royale, for example, this game is pretty similar in terms of its playstyle. So it's a real-time strategy game, RTS, which means that obviously you are playing against somebody else and everything you do happens in real time. They attack you, you attack them, you defend, and it all happens at the same time. Where a game like Galaxy of Heroes, for example, is turn-based, so you have your turn, they have their turn. Nothing is at the same time. And that's the major difference between this and Galaxy of Heroes, is the fact that this is more action-based, where Galaxy of Heroes I find is a bit more pedestrian, so you can play at your own pace, and you can pause the game if you wanted to do that. Here you can't do, you can pause it, but in a 2v2 or 1 versus 1 you can't really pause the game, because otherwise your opponent will win, because you won't be at the keyboard to play, or your mobile device to play the game keyboard. That's a PC game, as typical. So feel free to ask any questions in the comments below and I'll do my best to answer them. So what we're going to do now, we're going to pick a leader to start off, and obviously each leader has their own difficulty level. Sabine's easy, Luke's difficult, Anakin there, the new leader Anakin Skywalker with the Clone Wars expansion, and then you've got Boba Fett, who's one of my favourite characters in the movie and also in the game. He's pretty mobile. Grand Moff Tarkin again, and then you've got General Grievous, who everybody knows. So what happens is on the right side, as you can see on the menu, you've got the name of the leader, background, history there, and what they do. And important at the bottom, it's got their skill. Now each one has their own particular skill, so each leader has an ability, which is a passive ability, which is a button you don't press, it's just automatically there when it's ready. And they have a button that you press to activate the special ability. So with General Grievous, on the bottom right hand side you will see there it displays a skill. So you have a passive skill and an active skill. The active skill is a button that you have to press in the game, and there is a cooldown associated with that when you activate it. So you need to make sure you choose the moment to do that and maximize the output of a damage, for example, or the attack that you're doing. So Grievous's passive is what's called Cyborg General, and it says there General Grievous tech units get their attack power increased by 10% and their max hit points, HP, increased by 10%. That means the amount of damage they deal is increased by 10%, and the maximum health they have is increased by 10%. And that applies to what's called tech units. So in the game, which I'll show you later on, each card has a class. So you have an organic card, which would be things like troopers, so rebel soldiers, stormtroopers, Wookiee warriors, anything that's like a living organ, if you want to put it that way, is organic. And tech units would be things like a tank, AT-ST walker, sentry droid, those things. Anything droids are tech as well. And then you've got support cards, which are things like your air units, so your X-Wing, TIE Fighter, gunships, and also things like gas grenades, stun grenades, those things, and also turrets. And what this means now, if you pick Grievous as your leader, when you use him, all your droids that you use, tech units, will get this buff, basically. And it's a passive buff, so you don't need to do anything to do that. It's automatically applied when you play the game. And I'll show you more about that later on. And then his main ability is called Swift Strike, and this moves backwards slightly, then dashes forwards. So when he spins his lightsabers, like in the movie, it does that, and attacks them an AoE area effect damage, so it's AoE for short, damage to equal 300% of his attack power, which increases for a short burst. And here is a preview of that. So all the new characters in the game and all the cards have this new attack video that you can watch, so you can get an idea of how the attack works. That's just normal attack. This is the one where you press the button, so it does like it does in the movie. It spins the sabers around like it does in the movie. Awesome. So what we'll do, we'll pick General Grievous as our leader for this particular example. So we say yes, and then we'll wait for the game to do its thing. So you have the introduction of the game, and you can skip all these things if you've played the tutorial before, but we're not going to do that in this video because obviously we want you to see the tutorial. This is a cutscene, and it tells you about the battlefield we've arrived, and it will guide you through. So we click next, find that from here, and I'll teach you some methods and help you win. Tap the ground to move. So you tap once and you'll move. That's one of two. And then you double tap and it uses his faster movement. So basically what happened there was you saw that the yellow bar depleted, and that is what's called stamina. So when you double run anywhere, your stamina will be depleted. And that auto attack, I had to click on them to engage and attack. Now here we use our skill button now. So click next and moving closer to stormtroopers, activate the skill button, and there he goes, and then just obliterates everyone. I will do the same again. Use a skill, and that kills everyone. They are level 1, so they're pretty weak. And then we've got to kill all these enemies now, so we'll do that again. Let's press the skill button again. So notice now it's on a cooldown of 1 second. Now it won't be 1 second in the main game itself, it's just for this demonstration purposes it's been reduced down. Get you used to using it. So you want to use it when there's a lot of units around you to make it work and kill as many soldiers as you can, or reduce their hit points. So we've got a pack for that, which is good. So the game is based on cards. So for every time you play a match, you get a victory pack, and then it goes on to a cooldown timer. You can unlock it later on and earn cards to upgrade. So we've got Battle Droid, we've got Manga Guard, and we've got the droid gunships. That's rare. So we've got some commons and some rares. And what those yellow bars mean are you've got 2, 4, and I think that was another 4. That is the cost of the unit to deploy on the battlefield. So every unit has an energy cost, and you have to manage that to your maximum ability in the game. So when you drop down a card, like in Clash Royale, you drop down a card, there's an energy cost associated with that. So what we need to do in the game itself, in 1 versus 1 and 2v2, you defend turrets. Your turret and the enemy will have turrets. And the idea is that you must destroy more turrets than they take down of yours, which is standard procedure here. So we're going to defend our turret here. And what you can do, later on we'll talk about more advanced movements and things that we can do in the game, but we'll talk about it later. So in this particular example here, we'll drop down some battle droids, and just so by dropping them in front of a turret, what that does is then it stops these troopers from attacking the turret. And the idea is you want to avoid taking any damage on your turret as possible. So you can use your leader, for example, to get in the way, so the troopers lock onto you, or you can throw down cards to defend the turret, like this. And then we're putting in Manga Guards, which costs 3 energy. So I've got 10 energy right now, and you get 1 energy every 3 seconds, so that's perfectly fine. So I can afford to deploy that. And what I'll do is now drop down Manga Guards to distract them, and the droids are behind to back them up with firepower, as you can see there. And these are the kind of things you want to be doing in the game, is just deploying your units down and protecting your turret, and then making a push to attack your opponent. But obviously you don't have to throw everything down at once, because what will happen is this. A bombing run, and everything gets killed. So an airstrike comes in. So rebels have Y-Wing, X-Wing or Iron Mine as their AoE attacks. And that can literally kill everything on the battlefield sometimes, because it is really strong. But in return you can do the same. So we've got a gunship here. And what we'll do, we'll use that here. And notice the big area there. That tells me the area it's going to cover. So if I deploy that now, it'll fly in and then kill everything as I defend my turret. So we've taken no damage, which is really good. So what we need to do now is counter-attack on their turret, which is up the end of the other lane. And this is essentially what Force Arena is about. And there's a red area, like you see in his red marker here, means you can't deploy units in that area. But if I was to destroy this turret, we can drop units in that area. It becomes active. So here we go. So we've got Grievous here now. So what we're going to do is, if I was to attack the turret with just Grievous, he would end up getting killed, and your opponent would no doubt drop down units to counter as well, which means that I would die. So what you want to do really is deploy some units to help defend. So throwing the battle droids here as it says, and then drop down some manga guards as it says to help. And now we can attack. Because the droid is locked onto our units, we can use our special attack now, do a lot of damage to the turret, throw down some more troopers to help defend with, and as you can see, it's been destroyed. We've got that in the bag. GG. And we've got a pack for it. Thank you very much. We'll take that. Another troopers, which is nice. So we have a card there in our mission rewards. So this is a typical 1v1 map at the start of the game. It's slightly different to the main 1v1 because what would happen is just where that log is in the middle there'd be like another area for defense, be like another log or obstacle there to help defend and protect your middle turret. So what we'll do now, this is where it all works. So what happens is you've got a shield generator is what you have to protect. That is the main objective. So for example, say that you might destroy all three of their turrets, but they might only take down your middle turret, and your shield generator means you lose. Shield generator is worth 4 in terms of a victory. Automatic 4 victory, 4 points for the win. It is. So you could take down 3 turrets, but they may only take down the shield generator and the middle turret, and it's a 4-3 win. That will be to them. So you have to defend the shield generator at all costs. But before they can attack your shield generator, you've got 3 turrets protecting each lane, as you're seeing on the map on the screen right now. So the idea is that you have to take out their turrets, and they have to take out your turrets. And by doing that, you have to plan where you're going to drop your troopers, plan how you're going to make an attack on their turret without sacrificing your defence. So that's the enemy turrets there highlighted, and they're blocking your goal. So if I destroy one of these turrets, I can then move on to the middle turret if I wanted to. But you can attack the middle turret straight away in 2v2, for example, because there's a middle lane. But on 1 versus 1 you can't do that, because to get there you have to go through the first turret and that will shoot you. That's the goal there, a shield generator, is what I said earlier on. So whoever destroys that first wins the game, but you don't have to do that. You can win just 1-0 by destroying 1 turret, for example, is a win. And that is enough to take the day. So let's move on to it now, to a 1 versus 1 game. So here comes his troopers now. So we'll deploy some cards down to attack and defend. So here we go, we're defending our troopers here. And I'll drop down some more troopers here to help defend and protect. Use Grievous to get in there and take on Anakin, because notice how Anakin's coming to join the battle too now. I'm going to use my gunship, I won't use my gunship now, to take out all those units. See, now this is what I call maximum value. So my gunship costs 4, and his droid is Republic Commanders costs 3 each. There's clone troopers. So that was a really good exchange, means I spent less energy than I needed to. The one thing I like to do in these games is build up from the back. So I'll drop some units there, and they will slowly march up towards the turret. And what's happened is now, by doing that, you'll see now my energy is going back up to 9 to 10. So I can now drop down these guards behind, and that way I've got a bit more of an attack going. So I can push forward in here as my energy regenerates, put down battle droids to help defend, use my special attack, and then take down that turret. Nice and easy. And now we move on to the second shield. So we get a 1-0 lead now. And as you can see, this area on the map has opened up. And there's no time limit on this battle because it is a friendly match or tutorial game. So, turret's locked on to our troopers, so we can go for the kill. We've stolen their health pack. We can drop down more troopers now as we do our attack. Throw in a gunship for maximum range. And this will kill almost everything in there. Again, throw down some more guards now, because we've got on the front foot. We are now on the shield generator, and the shield is destroyed, giving us a win. Not all games will be as easy as that, obviously, because you're playing against the tutorial here. Some games will be an absolute struggle, but we've won there 4-0. So what this basically tells us is that we killed the enemy leader twice, which is what this first icon means, and this one here means we destroyed 2 turrets. So it says 4 because, as I said earlier on, if you destroy the shield generator, it automatically gives you 4 turret victory, automatically. If you know, as I said, I've destroyed 1 turret, and I destroyed the second turret, and destroyed the shield generator. So I destroyed 2 turrets and the shield generator, which is technically 3, but it gives you a 4-0 win. And Anakin didn't do anything. So we've got a pack for that, which is nice. Thank you very much. Just open that up. I've got a Stormtrooper. Oh, nice. That's it. Here we go. And that really is how the game works in terms of basics. Let's put a nickname in here, shall we? Let's put in Newbie Mook Noob Face. Will that fit? It does fit. Noob Mook Noob Face. There we go. We'll put that in there. Yes, we'll do that. Bear in mind, this is a name that you use all the time. And if you're on Facebook, Google Play or iOS, you can then link your game to your achievements and things for Google Play and the game services. And what that does then is, obviously, if you uninstall the game or lose your place or lose the game, you can then log back in and all your stats and data is going to be saved. If you don't link it up, you're going to be in trouble and end up having to start all over again from scratch. So that completes phase 1 of training, and then we'll do in the next video, we'll look at phase 2 and we'll talk about how you earn some more cards, better leaders and things like that. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. May the Force be with you.